Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. I've got a question here from YouTube user V-neck Vinny. Listen, I love a good V-neck. I really think it makes me, it makes my chest pop. V-neck Vinny says, "Hey Vince, can you please make a video about the specific context of who the defendant is and how that can cause a plaintiff side attorney to turn down an otherwise viable claim? For example, I know of a situation where numerous law firms declined a good case primarily because of who the defendant was, especially because the staff was largely comprised of attorneys and the board of the organization had high-profile attorneys on it, including celebrities and even judges. So many conflicts of interest in long-standing relationships. Please speak on how attorneys analyze the entire context beyond the merits of a potential case. Thanks." Okay, great question. So let's split this up. There's a core idea here, which you're actually not making the argument, but there's people could misunderstand. People could hear that question and think, oh, attorneys didn't want that case because there were lots of attorneys on the other side. That is nonsense. Attorneys are softer targets. Attorneys understand the litigation, the cost of litigation, the risk. Suing attorneys in personal injury, employment law, commercial litigation, comp, all these fields, attorneys are better defendants. Attorneys are more likely to pay, more likely to understand the risks involved, less likely to waste time. It's quicker, it's streamlined, it's more lucrative, right? So law firms, like, listen, one of the best claims they're going to walk in my door is a sexual harassment case against a well-heeled, medium-sized law firm. They will be asking me how many zeros on the check, because reputation, ethical issues, licensing issues, just the cost of fighting me off. They're going to sit there and be like, oh, it's going to cost us $180,000 to fight this guy off. And he's probably going to win anyways, because that idiot did the thing. So we better add $180,000 to the settlement offer and just get this done. Right. So suing attorneys, better. Now, that's not what you're saying. You're saying something differently. You're saying, hey, I know of a situation where I go after this organization and the board has a lot of famous attorneys, judges, and celebrities on the board. Probably a nonprofit, something like that, I'm guessing. A couple different things there. Now, listen, nobody likes suing judges. Nobody likes conflict with judges in their jurisdiction. That's not great. I'm in a weird role where we got forced into conflict with judges a couple of times because it's New York and some of the judges are not the best. And, we had a judge who, allegedly did some corrupt things and retired to get out of an attorney general investigation because we had to we had to make a choice, right? Like, gonna let the judge run wild and harm our client, or are we gonna double down and go to the mattresses and just go to war and what's gonna happen, right? And justice prevailed. Judge opted out of the fight, retired. I would expect, I believe, because she knew what she had done, trying to leverage her judgeship to intimidate, my client. None of that was fun. None of that was good. Didn't enjoy that. Don't want to ever do that again. That was nail biting. That was like, you have to make a choice. Are you there for your client or are you there for you? And we chose client. And that choice came with a pit in my stomach. And, that was a cold, scary 6 to 8 weeks. I'll be honest with you. It was a lot. Nobody wants that. So there is a chilling effect going after some of these organizations with judges on the board. And listen, judges, they want to be part of society. They want to be part of the community. I get it. Of course they do. They've got status. It makes sense. I kind of don't feel like they should. Like, there's a chilling effect. If you're on some charity's board, I think some attorneys don't take those cases because, I'm in front of that judge every week. I don't love that. Listen, there's certainly firms like ours who will take the case. That's, there's fixes to that problem. No doubt. But listen, not every jurisdiction has an insane self-loathing trailer park kid running a multi-million-dollar law firm who will just go at anyone, right? So we'll deal with the judges first. Like, that's a challenge. Attorney's not going to take a case, generally speaking, where they think they're going to lose out big. Oh my God, I need this judge every week. Like, I'm in front of the judge every week. There's not that many judges in this jurisdiction. This conflict cost me dearly. There's other firms out there. Let this cup pass from me. One of the other firms will do it. That happens. That's a reality. You mentioned celebrities. Now, celebrities, I view them very similar to how I view suing law firms. Soft targets, mess them up. They get the worst representation. The attorneys for celebrities are some of the dumb, because they're not really the best attorneys. They're the best at getting celebrities to sign retainers, right? So the representation that celebrities get in the early stages, eventually they'll trickle up to someone who's talented and they'll pay top dollar. But generally their in-house representation, their family attorney, their whatever it is hot garbage. It's like a concierge piece of shit, doesn't know what they're doing, practices too many areas of law, doesn't feel comfortable going to the experts for the answers, so just answers questions kind of willy-nilly, really irresponsible, really silly. Celebrities, in terms of their representation, are terrible. Celebrities have reputational issues, right? They need to be worried about, like, especially in our field, right? Discrimination claims, sexual harassment claims. I should get this done. I should get this settled. This is not good, right? Like, my whole cachet is that I can act a little bit and people like me, like, more than most people. That's the entire job for them, for many of them, right? There's some of them that are super talented actors and don't make it on their looks or don't make it on their likability, but let's be honest. Like, you look at The Rock. Is The Rock a great thespian? No, he's a great athlete. He was a great professional wrestler, which is a grueling sport. Listen, it's not a competitive sport. It's scripted, but physically demanding, athletic, dangerous, like everything, right? So he's this great athlete that people just really like. They like watching him eat 10,000 calories on his cheat meals. They like watching him hang out with his daughters. They like him. So they go see movies with him, even though he can't act at all. Not really, right? And I'm never brought a claim against The Rock. Not making that argument. But I'm saying, like, if you bring a claim against a fellow like The Rock, whose entire cachet is, I'm athletic and people like me, he's going to cut you a check because he doesn't want people to like him less. The guy makes hundreds of millions of dollars just for being liked. You're asking for 2, 3, 5, right? Million, potentially, depending on the claims, right? It's got to be appropriate. But he's not going to be like, wow, I'll fight you to the death over that 5 million. No, he's going to be like, God damn, if this gets out, I am going to lose big. So let's cut that check and keep this quiet. And if your client is okay with being kept, selling their silence, then that's a really easy pitch for somebody like The Rock. You know what I mean? And again, let me just be clear. The Rock is being used as an example here. I'm not aware of any claims or misdeeds by The Rock. I have no bone to pick with The Rock, and just using him as a example of a very likable actor / athlete who, like, maybe isn't the best at his craft in terms of acting. But still fun movies. I'll see a Rock movie every now and then. So celebrities I view as soft targets, desirable targets, good defendants. I will say there's stuff that comes along with that. There's threats. Like, we've had bribes come into our staff. We have a standing policy here. If our staff receive a bribe, we double it. Because people, celebrities, occasionally, with money, people who think they're a little bit more powerful than they actually are, will try to get out ahead and be like, yeah, let's bribe the staff. Let's find out what they got. Let's hire the PIs. Let's threaten this guy. Is this guy having an affair? Let's find out. Let's blackmail him. Let's get rid of this attorney. You do run into some of those things from time to time. Listen, we get death threats, and I think the death threats tend to come from smaller players, frankly, but occasionally it's larger players, So all of that stuff can come from celebrities. It is a specialized kind of litigation, not because the laws are different, but because the players are different. The things that happen are just a lot more unexpected, a little bit amplified because the amounts in question are larger. Celebrities tend to have hangers-on who are desperate to hold on to their place or to jockey in line for favor, with the celebrity. So they'll do wild things, show up and tell you off and try to get in your office and stuff like that. Things like that happen. And that's all fine, well, and good if you're used to it. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Like I'm suing your boss? Good. Yeah. All right. I'm recording. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Keep going. No. Keep talking. I'm enjoying. This is really good for me. Yeah. Right? Like it's super easy. Oh, you want to punch me? Oh, yeah. That'd be great. Could you? Yeah. Here you go. Right? Like that'd be swell. Confront me on the court steps. Please. Could you interrupt my press conference? That would be amazing. It'll be on Thursday. But you have to have a comfort level. And that comfort level has to also include all this weird shit that's going on, but being in the public eye. And that is antithetical to many attorneys. Many attorneys don't want to do that. Many attorneys think that's disgusting, or it's bad for their practice, or it's unprofessional, or, to me, that's my job, is to control the public narrative. In part, right? Like, it's to win the case first and foremost. But if we're in the public narrative, my client's gonna need some control. I can't just let this famous person use their fame to screw my client over and ruin their life. I've got to oppose them. And that's something we're comfortable doing. It's something we do. It's something we have teams that do, where we have professionals. Ariella Steinhorn, the publicist we work with, right? Tremendous. And, we get out ahead of things. We control that narrative. And we're practiced at that. But if you're a law firm, you're not practiced at that. That can be scary, and it can consume your life in a way you don't want it to. So it's a real thing. Like, attorneys will back out from celebrity cases, and they'll often call me up and be like, "Hey, I got this case against a celebrity. I don't want my name on it. I don't want to touch it. Will you give me a piece if they retain you? Like, I'll bring them in, and you'll represent them. I just want a piece, but you got to hide my name." All right, listen, if your client's okay with that, I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not going to cut my fee because you're a bit of a wuss. But, if they want to pay you a piece, I mean, sure, I'll do my job as long as I'm getting paid. And that happens. Like, professional athletes have come to me that way. B and A- tier actors and reality stars have come to me that way. And it's fine. It's just reflective of like how panicky attorneys can get when dealing with celebrities of any kind. And to me, listen, oh, you're famous? Cool. It's not going to put any bread on my table. I don't value it. It's not. I'm good, right? So it just doesn't matter to me, but it does to some firms. High profile. So you list high profile attorneys, celebrities, and judges as these three chilling factors in your question. High profile attorneys, I actually think goes the other way. Again, I think that people like hitting high profile attorneys. High profile attorneys share all the characteristics of the mid-sized law firm. They're reputationally conscious. They're professionally conscious. They're ethically conscious. They have a lot to lose. There's some issues where like a high profile attorney might be passing out lots of cases, or might be a big player in the in an industry, in a jurisdiction, stuff like that. So there can be chilling effects, but I just don't think they're that pervasive. I don't believe that. Now there's a lot. Your question is actually much broader. You're like, what do attorneys think about? Like, they think about a lot of things. Can we collect? How liquid is this defendant? What is the witness situation? What's, can we get witnesses to show up for subpoenas? What's the discovery? What kind of forensic IT can we get? Can we catch them? There's a lot to think about, but I think really the core of your question is about the chilling effects, and we're getting a little bit long, so I don't want to go too far. But Celebrities, for me, all in. Bigger companies, for me, all in. High-profile attorneys, sweet. Invite me in. Can't wait. Just get me in the door. I'll start messing things up. Law firms, also sweet. Great targets. Soft targets. Law firms are not good at being sued. Or they're too good at it. Like they just understand and they're like, gotta cut the check. He got us. There's not even like the fight sometimes. And then they're just like, yeah, you got me, dude. We had this idiot here. We fired him. But what happened, and we're going to have to cut a check. Great. Good call. Good mathing. You did your math. You did your risk analysis. Correct choice. Right? So, anyways, I hope this helps. Great question, V-neck Vinny. I don't like being called Vinny, but I don't think you're calling me Vinny. I think it's your name. And I love a V-neck. I really do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, share the channel so it can grow. Hope this video helped. Take care, everybody.